Good day, my name is Arnalda Naicker and my student number is 205633. I do not have a student card, so I will be using my ID instead. So in this video, I will be discussing various ways in which we could implement Fadenstein's theory in developing various strategies to assist us with the crisis that we are facing in South African schools. So step number 1 says the teacher will display a chart or a module that is related to the story. So this should happen at the beginning of the lesson. Remember that some learners are not fortunate enough to be exposed to storybooks, different topics, pictures, and various things that are happening around the world. So this also makes it difficult for learners to understand the story and to be interested in the story. So by providing pictures or a chart of the story and what is happening, the learners are more connected with the story. They understand what is happening, they understand what the story is about, and it also creates interest in the learners and a positive learning environment. Step number 2 says educators will group the learners. So grouping is really important, and in grouping you should not only have all the bright learners in one group and all the weaker learners in another group. You should always combine learners together. So for example, we have some weak learners, mediocre learners, and some bright learners in each group. In this way, all the learners are interactive with each other. You do not leave the weaker learners out and make them feel awkward or like they are not good enough. The weaker learners and mediocre learners also pick up knowledge and learn various strategic skills from the bright learners, which is a good way to promote learning and teaching. Step number 3 says educator will teach learners how to decode, break down words, and use pictures to understand what the story is about. In this way, the educator is sharing her knowledge and her ideas with the learners, which the learners can also use in other reading activities and writing activities. So there are examples of what the teacher will teach them, such as the word cat. You will break it down. Ka-atta makes the word cat. So she will do that example with a lot of other, she'll use that technique or a lot of other words in the story. Also, by looking at the picture, the learner should be able to get some sort of an idea what is happening. Okay, step number 4 says asking various levels of questions before, during, and after reading. This is a great way to test the learner's knowledge. You also are developing various skills in the learners, such as thinking skills, understanding skills, visualization. They also come up with solutions for questions, reasoning, and they also analyze the pictures and what is happening. So it's in regards to literacy, it is ideal to always ask questions so that the learners are also interactive during the lesson between other learners and even yourself. Step number 5 says supply learners with vocab. So vocab is really important, especially when it's a topic that not all learners will be familiar with, because they will use this vocab in the story to understand what the story is about. You're also teaching the learners new words which they will use later on in other subjects and in other aspects. Also, remember to give learners the meanings of the words, not only teach them the words, because some learners, again, they are unaware of what the word is, or they do not really understand what the word is. So also give them the meaning of the word. It also gives the learners something to think about, especially when they have not heard that word before. Step number 6, which is the last step, says use visuals when reading. So you could use various visuals such as charts, modules, pictures, graphs, even real life things to demonstrate something. So visuals also help the learners to keep interest. It also helps the learners to answer questions, to understand the story. Visuals are also good to create a good and interactive and positive environment. So all the techniques that I have mentioned, it connects with the Fadenstein's theory. As in all my strategies, the teacher plays a crucial role, and she's passing down knowledge and assisting the learners in learning. And also in all my steps provided, the learners' cognitive skills are developed in various ways. So I personally feel like by implementing these strategies, we will really come back to the issue of reading and writing in the South African schools.